Hello student, welcome once again. Today we are going to discuss about the revision part of the third chapter, that is how do organism reproduce. So how do organism reproduce? It means simply it is called as reproduction. So the chapter name in your NCERT book, that how do an organism reproduce. This one is the question mark. This is the chapter name. How do an organism reproduce? Okay. So simple thing is that here we will discuss about the reproduction. Reproduction that you already know in from class 7th. Okay, the definition is very clear, as simple also. That is, if we learn the shortcut, that we will write not in board, that's only for learn, that is re plus production. It is only for learn, not you have to write in the board examination. Okay, suppose that if this is the chalk, okay, and from this, okay, you have make another chalk, same thing like this, but this is the new one and this one is the old one. Okay, so from where this you reproduce this? From this one. Okay, the simple means of reproduction, that is production of new individual, of their own kind. Production of new individual of their own kind, that is called as what? Reproduction. Simple is it. Okay, if suppose that this is the amoeba, suppose that, or any organism, suppose that here is the amoeba or any organism, suppose that this one is the amoeba. Okay, so amoeba reproduce two cells, that is two daughter cells. So this is called as parental cell and this one is called as daughter cell. Okay, this one is the parental cell and this one is the called as daughter cell. So here we will told that key production of new individual, this one is the new one, from their own kind, yani it means from parents, that is called as what? Reproduction. Okay, so this one is the simple one. Next one is type of reproduction. This one is also you know very well. Types of reproduction. So as you already know, that is one number is asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, as it is their name, A means absent. Just only for learn. A means absent, yani the reproduction in which only one sex is required, not both sex, that is not male and female, only one sex is required. Okay, it means the reproduction in which only single sex is required is called asexual reproduction. So from 7th class that you know about the asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, there are so many things that you know. Okay, so here is the part, some parts are there, we have to learn about the parts. Okay, in asexual reproduction we have to know about some important points, some important types. Like first is fission. Second one is fragmentation. Third one is budding. Next one is regeneration. Tissue culture. Vegetative propagation. Okay. Spore formation. There are so many types, but in your syllabus only this one is there. Okay. So one by one we have to discuss about all the type of asexual reproduction. Okay. Now the first one that we are going to continue, that is fission. Number one is fission. Simply, what is the meaning of fission? Fission means breakdown. Okay. If an organism will be breaked, it will be breaked into two parts or more than two parts. Okay. So if we see that key breakdown. Okay. Fission is of two types. Number one is binary fission. In binary fission, in computer language, that you know about the binary number or binary language. Binary language is only two, that is 0 and 1. So here the organism will be break down into two parts. Okay. The best example of binary fission is amoeba or paramecium. Amoeba or paramecium, but in your syllabus that is only amoeba is there, but you have, if you prepare for NTSC or Olympiad, then it will be also the paramecium. Now here we will discuss about the amoeba. Suppose that this is the structure of amoeba. Going to the process of binary fission. So in binary fission we have to know about so many things. Suppose that this one is the amoeba. If this was the amoeba and little bit it was just making a grooves, it would create pressure, it will create grooves. If it was create grooves, then in between that nucleus is present, and so the grooves will be created, the pressure on the nucleus. The nucleus will also be elongated. So if it was created here, a pressure, so the nucleus which are present inside that, it was elongated. So this one is the most important diagram, because in so many examination, especially in the board examination, okay, this diagram will definitely come. Okay. So here the liquid which are present inside that is called as cytoplasm, and this one is called as nucleus. Labeling should be correct. So cytoplasm, that is division of cytoplasm. Okay. This process is called as cytokinesis. Okay. Here that is elongation of nucleus. Elongation of nucleus. That is not division of nucleus, that is elongation of nucleus. Okay. So next step, The next step is very simple, okay, that is there is the formation of this is called as furrow or curve, whatever you told, that is furrow. So with the pressure of furrow, it is divided into two parts. These are called as daughter MEB. So here is that, simple is that elongation of nucleus. If you want to write that, here you write that karyokinesis. But from 10th class it was correct, but from the above class it was not. Okay. So this is the typical diagram of binary fission of amoeba. This one is the most important diagram because this diagram is in your practical also. So 1 marks question or whatever is that, the question will definitely come in that. Okay. So this one is the process of binary fission. So here you see that in binary fission you see that the organism is divided into two equal part. It means simply bole that is two part. But not only the two part, it will be also divided more than two parts. So the second one is called multiple fission. In that multiple fission, the best example is Plasmodium. Plasmodium is the best example, which is commonly called as malarial parasite. Malaria disease caused by this protozoan. Okay. As you know that malaria disease is caused in class 9th. The chapter is why do we fall ill. Okay, in that chapter you have to already know about this Plasmodium. Okay, that this Plasmodium is a malarial parasite and it will be transferred from one body to the another body with the help of female Anopheles mosquito. Okay, so now we have to continue now. Suppose that with the help of female Anopheles mosquito, this Plasmodium is enter inside the body. If there is an unfavorable condition means the condition in which that this Plasmodium will be not divided in our body. It is not suitable for this. That condition is called as unfavorable condition. So in unfavorable condition, suppose that unfavorable condition is there. So this Plasmodium is making a wall or layer on their body. This layer is called as cyst. CYST, that this layer is called as cyst. And the process of making cyst is called as encystement. This process is called as encystement. Okay. Inside the cyst, it was continuously dividing. And by the process of fission, it was continuously divided. Okay. Later, if the favorable condition will come, okay, then this cyst will be broken down. And all the Plasmodium will be releases in our body and causing a disease called as malaria. So these are the two types of fission. That first is binary fission and second one is multiple fission. Okay. So now next one, please note it down this fast. You have to note it down, please. Okay, so come to the next one. The next one is called budding. Budding, as it is named, that is bud. Bud means kali. In the Hindi it is called as kali. Yani fool. It means flower. The flower elongation, that is called as kali. Okay, so the best example is hydra. The best example is hydra. Okay, suppose that this is the body of hydra. Okay, before going to the asexual reproduction, it will form a bird-like structure. This is the bird-like structure. Later, that bird will be just proliferate and formation of newborn hydra, and later that during the elongation of this newborn hydra, it will be detached from the parent body. This one is the parent body and this is the newborn body. Okay, before elongation of newborn body, it will be detached from the parent body. So this one is the new one, that is daughter, and this one is the parent. So these are the that is budding. This is called as budding. Okay, next one is simply we will told about the third one, that is fragmentation. As it is named, that is fragment means breakdown. It will be breakdown into so many parts, that is simply called as fragmentation. Okay, so in fragmentation we have to just take a filamentous organism. So what is the filamentous organism? It means the organism which is thin and it cover a longitudinal way. It means cover a longitudinal path. That is, it means their height should be something. Okay, so filamentous organism. Example that is Ulothrix, Spirogyra. These are the algae. Okay, if we saw the diagram of Ulothrix, suppose that this is the diagram of Ulothrix. Okay, by the hindrance of, or by attaining the height or longitudinal way, it will be broken down into so many pieces. Okay, so each pieces has been able to develop a new plant body. These are the new plant body. But the main thing is that suppose that this one is the old part, of the plant, and it have a capability to develop the new plant body. This one is the new one. Suppose then this one is the old one and this one is the new one. So old one have a capability to develop, a new plant body. Okay, after attaining the full height of new plant body, after attaining that, please be in mind, because in regeneration that is a little bit different. Okay, suppose that if new one have attained a longitudinal height, it means maximum height, then later that old one will be detached from the new plant body. Okay, so whole the plant will be new. Once again I will going to repeat it very carefully, you just listen very carefully. Suppose that a new plant body have attained a full height. Okay, after attaining the full height, this old one will be detached from the new plant body. So we will obtain a full new plant body. So reproduction means production of new individual. Production of new individual. It means whole plant body will be new. Okay, so these are some points. Okay, now come to the next one. Come to the next one. Next one is most important. Later we will discuss about the regeneration, but here we will discuss about the fourth one, that is spore formation. This one is most important. Spore formation. This one is most important, that I already told you, because spore formation is in spore formation. In alternate examination, in alternate board examination, one question will be definitely come from this. Okay, now listen to it. The example is Rhizopus. Example is Rhizopus. Best example is Rhizopus. First we see the diagram of Rhizopus. If we saw the diagram of Rhizopus, just erase it. This is the diagram of Rhizopus. This is the diagram of Rhizopus. Okay, this structure is called stolon, or in some book it was called as hypha. You have to write both one, that is not in the sense. Okay, this structure is called sporangiophore. Sporangiophore. Okay, this structure is called as sporangium. Sporangium. This structure is called columella, and this structure is called operculum. And inside the sporangium there are so many spores are present. Spores are present. Okay, these spores are capable to produce a new individual. These spores are capable to produce a new individual. So here we are going to discuss about how the spore will become inside the environment, how the spores will be enter inside the environment. Here we will discuss. Okay, first thing is that you see the operculum. The operculum is there. The layer of operculum is very smooth. The layer of operculum is very smooth. Just listen very carefully. From this part, here is no color. From this part, a material will be goes inside, and it will be absorbed by the columella. Will be just absorbed by the columella. After absorbing the nutrients by the columella just swell up. Columella just swell up. Okay, after absorbing the nutrients, this columella has been swell up, and it create pressure on the wall of sporangium. Once again I will repeat. From here the nutrition will be enter and it will be absorbed by the columella. If the columella will be absorb all the nutrients, okay, it becomes swell up. Columella becomes swell up. After swelling it create pressure on the wall of sporangium, and here operculum the wall is smooth, so the cap will be just open. It means the structure is very simple. This is the columella after swelling, and this is the structure, and the spores will be released in the atmosphere due to the pressure. Okay, the spores, these are the spores which will be released from on the atmosphere, and with the help of water current or wind or whatever, or animal or plant or insects, these spores travel from one part to the other part. So this is the spore formation. This one is the most important one, because in alternate examination the spore formation will definitely come, because in this year also it means in the previous board examination, okay, in set B question number 12, not 12, that is 27, okay, this question will be there, okay, that is the spore formation in Rhizopus. Okay, so these are some things. Now come back to fifth one. Fifth one is basically regeneration. Sometime the question will be asked you that regeneration is not a type of reproduction. The question is that regeneration is not a part of reproduction. Explain. This is the question. This question will most probably it was come that not in alternative, but it will be asked. Okay, so first we will know about the regeneration. After that we will know about this answer. Okay, regeneration, as it is named, re means reproduce again, generate means produce. Okay, reproduce. The best example is planaria. You have already know about the planaria in class 9. In class 9 you have to know about the platyhelminthes. The best example is planaria. Okay, if you saw the diagram of planaria, so this one is the diagram of planaria. If we cut into 3 pieces, because in fragmentation it was automatically break down into the different fragment, but here is what it will be required some external ways for breakdown, external thing for breakdown. So it will be divided. Suppose this part and this part. Suppose that this part is old one, so the new one will be arises. Suppose that this one is the old part, and this one also. Okay, so these are the 3 MEB, but in 3 MEB you see that in fragmentation, just you remind it, in fragmentation, if the plant attain a maximum height, then the old one will be just detected from that new one body. But here you what see, suppose that this one is the old one and it have developed a new one body. Okay, so in new plant body, full new plant body, some old part will be there. So it is not a type of reproduction because the reproduction means production of new individual. New individual means totally new individual. Not a single thing will be old in that. But here you see that some part is old and some part is new. So it was not a part of reproduction. This question will. So the question will be arise in your mind. Just think about that. What is the question arise in your mind? What have the capability? What are the cells which are present inside the old one, which have produces the new individual? The question will be in your mind. That is, just think about this. Which cell or which thing will be in there in old one, which have able to produce a new plant body? Okay. So in these cells, one cell is present that is called as totipotent cell. Totipotent cells. What is totipotent cells? The cells which have capability to produce a new young plant body. Cells which have capability to produce new individual. The cells which have capability to produce new individual, it means all one cell have produced a full body, that is called as what? This one, that is totipotent cell. So basically you have to learn about that why regeneration is not a part of reproduction and what is the difference between fragmentation and regeneration, because these are the two important things. These are the two important things you have to all learn in that. So these are some points. Okay, now the next thing we are going to discuss about tissue culture. Before starting the tissue culture, I am giving you one question. Before starting that, I am giving you one question, that why tissue culture is called micro propagation. Why tissue culture is called micro propagation? This is the question. So the question is always in your mind, because the question that we will write here, okay, that is most important. So first we will know about the tissue culture. Tissue culture. Tissue culture is basically used for ornamental plants, medicinal plant, endangered plants, yani the plants which have nearly to extinct, that is endangered plant. Okay, so etc. So many plants will be there. Okay, suppose that this one is the plant. Suppose that this one is the plant. This one is the leaf part. This is suppose that fruit. This is suppose that flower. Okay, suppose that this one is the plant body. So the scientist or the botanist, what they will do in the tissue culture, tissue, the word means tissue. Tissue means the parts, it will be take some parts of any part of the plant. Any part means suppose that it was leaf or fruit or flower or stem or root, whatever, it will be take some part of the tissue from the plant body. Okay, before taking the part, the botanist or the scientist will study all things about this plant, all things, whatever the requirement, whatever the amount or whatever the things it will be required, all things that he know. Okay. Next thing is that before starting, one point that you know, that is one condition is that is in vitro. What is in vitro? That is, in vitro means the experiment will be take place in laboratory. Experiment will be take place in laboratory. And in vivo, in means in environment. Both are very simple, that is in vitro and in vivo. So the things will be very clear. Here I am going to erase this part. Okay, just listen it very carefully, because the steps are very clear. Listen it very carefully. Suppose that a scientist will take some tissue part of that plant body. Okay, before taking this part, in vitro condition, in vitro it means laboratory condition, in the test tube, it will take all the materials which was required from that plant for growth. Okay, this medium is called culture media or medium. Culture media or medium. Okay, just listen very carefully. In all things will be take place in vitro condition. In vitro means in laboratory condition. The scientist will take a test tube. This one is the test tube, and inside the test tube it will take all the material which are required for the plant body. All the material it will take, that material is called culture media or culture medium. Okay, next is that, okay, it will just put that test tube on the box or whatever is that, just in this position, that's in just erect position. So the culture media is just like this. This position is called slanting position. Slanting position. The question is always asked, not in the board examination, that is an NTSC Olympiad examination, that what is slanting position. So this position is called slanting position because the diagram will be there in that. You have to just stick in that what is the slanting position, it will be there. Okay, the second thing is that second thing, with the help of forceps means chimney, that tissue, okay, will be just here. So the question is asked that why will we take in the slanting position, why not in this position? Why not in this position? Why in the slanting position? Because here you see that the area is minimum. The area is minimum, but here is the area is maximum. So increase in area. Increase in area. Increase in area. Only increasing in area, this position will be used. Okay. So all the things will be happen in the in vitro condition. So later this will be give all the environmental condition, whatever that it will be, that tissue is required. This is on the tissue part. Okay, later we will saw that, suppose that this is the box, some little greenish structure will come from this tissue, because tissue will grow because all the medium is there. This structure, the first structure which are arise from the tissue part is called as callus. This one is most important because in maximum examination it will be asked that where the callus will be obtained. So you have to write that in tissue culture. Later we will discuss about why it was called micropropagation, but here you see that This one is called as callus. Okay. Later that callus have become grow. Okay. After this, it will be ingrow in the feet. After growing this callus, attain height, it will be removed from the test tube and it will be protubated in the soil. It means on land. It means here it was in the in vivo condition. In vivo. Okay. So ornamental plants, medicinal plants or endangered plant will be obtained by this method. Okay. Tulip is the ornamental plant, will be easily obtained by this method. Okay, because it will be grown very smoothly and very fast. No some mediums will be required in that. Okay. So the question is that previously that I will ask you that why it was called micro propagation. The name is that that is micro. Micro means minute. Propagation means growth. It means with the help of minute part, we have to grow a new plant body. With the help of minute part, we have to grow a new plant body. Here you see that with the help of minute part, it means tissue, we have to grow a new plant body. Okay. So that tissue culture is called micropropagation. That one is easy one. We have to now know about the anything. Okay. Now come to the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation you already know from class 7th. Okay. But here in your syllabus is there also, but not full one. So little bit we will discuss. Okay. Tissue culture, that is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. As it is named, that is vegetative. Vegetative means plant part, plant vegetative part. Plant vegetative part means that is fruit, flower, root, leaf, stem, or whatever the part, that is vegetative part of the plant. Okay. With the help of vegetative part of the plant, we have to grow a new one, that is called as vegetative propagation. With the help of vegetative part, we have to grow. Grow means propagate. Okay. So it's called as vegetative. The first one, okay, that is called as cutting. The best example is rose. We are not going to describe the rose because you have to already know. Suppose that in Hindi it was called as kalam. With the help of this, okay. So this is structure, that is this one, that is kalam. Okay, it will be just cut it and make it in the soil. This will easily. Okay. Second one is layering. Layering example, that is Boxania or sunflower or whatever is that is jasmine, etc. What is that in that? Suppose that we have to take one plant, okay, and just grow in the soils. This one is the soil. Okay. Suppose that this is the plant body. If it was attaining a height, so one of that part is will come into the soils. Just take it and into the soils. Later you see that one more plant is arise, and after this one is the plant. So if we cut this one, so with the help of one plant we have to obtain more than one plant. So this process is called as layering, because step by step we will obtain in that. Okay. Third one is grafting. Grafting is most important most important. Grafting in what is called, that is simple, is that suppose that this one is the soil. Okay, so inside the soil, suppose that we have to go to graft about white and red rose. We have to go to combine about the white and red rose, because I am also that. Okay, suppose that this one is the red rose stem. We have to cut like this. Okay, and above that we have to take white rose stem. This one is the red rose stem and this one is the white rose stem, and just fix it in that. Okay, and just cover it with the help of jute rope. Okay, and left it for some days. Okay, that is 5 to 6 months. Later we will see that the branches which are arise from that plant, this one will be gives red rose and this one will be give white rose. Okay, but it was not simple, because there are so many circumstances in between that. The both nutrition will be same, both the atmosphere will be same, both the water requirement is same, all the condition will be same, the soil is same. Okay, the part which is just connected, just connected to the soil is called as stalk, and the above part is called as scion. Stalk and scion. Okay, so this third one. Fourth one is most important, that is leaves, because in alternate examination this question will definitely comes. The best example is bryophyllum. The best example is bryophyllum leaf. In the bryophyllum leaf, suppose that this is the bryophyllum leaf. So above the notch, so at the tip of notch, some bud will be arises. So the structure will definitely come in the examination. Suppose that this structure will come in the examination, and you have to identify that which type of reproduction will take place and which was that leaf. This leaf is called as bryophyllum leaf, and at the notches of bryophyllum leaf, so many buds are arises that later it will be produce a new bryophyllum plant. So many things are there in vegetative propagation, but here only this part in your course, this part in your syllabus. So okay, so asexual part of the plant, okay, asexual part of the reproduction will be completed now. Okay, then after that we will discuss about the sexual reproduction. First sexual reproduction we have to discuss in plant, and later we will discuss in animals, it means us. Okay, please note down these parts, all things you have to note down please carefully.